You're not failing because you're lazy. And you're not failing because you're not smart enough either. You're failing because some of the habits that make you feel intelligent are quietly working against you. And the worst part? You probably take pride in them. Let's break them down, and I'll make sure you spot them in yourself. The first habit is overthinking. And this one is tricky because it feels responsible, feels mature, feels smart. You might even say it out loud. I like to think things through before I act. Sounds reasonable, right? But that's not thinking, that's overthinking. Your brain runs non-stop simulations. You imagine every outcome, every risk, every possible mistake. And yet, nothing actually moves forward. Think about it. Asking someone out, pitching an idea, starting something you've been delaying. You rehearse every word in your head, every scenario, every response. And by the time you finally feel ready, the moment is gone. You don't hesitate because you're unsure. You hesitate because you want certainty before you move. Meanwhile, people who act without overthinking are already ahead. They're learning while you're analyzing, failing while you're preparing, growing while you're waiting. And yeah, it stings. Because deep down, you know intelligence alone isn't enough. So what's actually smarter, thinking endlessly or doing something imperfect? Overthinking doesn't make you smarter. It just makes you slower. And slow doesn't get rewarded. The second habit is perfectionism. And this one hides behind praise. People admire it, reward it, compliment it. You tell yourself, I just have high standards. Sounds noble. But let's be honest, it's perfectionism. Perfectionism is waiting for the right moment. It's delaying because you're scared it won't be flawless. You rehearse, you tweak, you refine, over and over again. Maybe it's a project at work, a post you want to upload, a presentation you're terrified of messing up. Nothing moves until it feels perfect. And because nothing ever feels perfect, nothing ever finishes. You're not chasing excellence, you're avoiding mistakes. And that frustration you feel is not about skill, it's about fear. So what actually matters more, perfection or progress? Because perfectionism isn't excellence. It's fear with better branding. The third habit is information hoarding. And this one feels productive, which makes it dangerous. You're always learning, always researching, always preparing. You binge articles, videos, podcasts, and it feels like progress. But it's not. It's information hoarding. Knowledge without action is a trap. The more you consume, the more overwhelmed you feel. The more stuck you become. Imagine knowing exactly how to start a business, but never making the first call. Or reading everything about fitness, but never lifting a single weight. Information makes you feel prepared. Action makes you actually prepared. And while you're busy learning, life keeps moving without you. That quiet anxiety in the background, that's your own intelligence turning against you. So what's smarter? Endless consumption or doing something uncomfortable? Because knowledge doesn't change your life. Execution does. The fourth habit is doing everything alone. Smart people love independence. They trust themselves. They hate asking for help. You tell yourself collaboration slows you down. It feels safer to rely only on you. This is the lone wolf habit. And independence is valuable until it turns into isolation. You miss faster growth. You miss better ideas. You miss shortcuts that only come from other people's experience. Think about a project you could have finished faster if you just asked one question. Or a skill you could have learned quicker. With a mentor, you didn't, and you fell behind. You call it self-reliance. But most of the time, it's control. And control limits growth. You can only move as fast as you can alone. And that sting of seeing others ahead of you? It hurts because it was avoidable. So what's smarter? Independence or collaboration? Because intelligence scales with collaboration. Isolation shrinks it. The fifth habit is procrastination disguised as planning. This one looks responsible. Your calendar is full. Your to-do list is detailed. People might even be impressed. You tell yourself, I'm just getting organized. But let's call it what it is. This procrastination, dressed up as productivity. Planning feels safe. Action feels risky. So you stay busy preparing instead of doing. You plan a presentation for days but never practice the talk. You research a project endlessly but never start it. You think preparation is progress, but it's actually avoidance. And the world doesn't wait. By the time you finally begin, someone else is already ahead. That frustration you feel isn't random. It's the result of your own overintelligence. So what really matters? Perfect planning or imperfect action? Because movement creates clarity, not the other way around. The sixth habit is intellectual pessimism. This one makes you sound realistic, grounded, even wise. You roll your eyes at optimism. You call it naive. You pride yourself on seeing the truth. But it's intellectual pessimism. You confuse skepticism with intelligence. You analyze risks endlessly. You point out flaws endlessly. Maybe you spot what's wrong with a plan, but never help fix it. Or you avoid trying at all because it probably won't work anyway. Cynicism feels safe, feels smart, but it's quietly holding you back. While you critique, someone else is acting, failing, learning, winning. That subtle envy you feel? That's ambition trapped behind fear. So what's smarter? Pointing out problems or building solutions? Because cynicism sounds intelligent, but ambition beats intelligence every single time. Most people don't fail because they're not smart. They fail because the habits that make them feel smart are slowly sabotaging them. If you recognized yourself in any of these, you now have a choice. You can keep feeling smart, or you can start moving smarter. Because in the end, the difference isn't intelligence, it's action. Subscribe for more interesting videos.